Hello friends, most people earning $50 to $70,000 in a finance role think they're underpaid. They're not underpaid. They're underpositioned. Same degree, same tools, but different value. Different value versus someone who's earning $120,000 to $150,000. So in this video, I will talk about what is the difference in the skill set of someone who's earning $50 to $70,000 in a finance role to someone who's earning $120,000 to $150,000 in a finance role. So we'll talk about all the skills. Now, before moving forward, one special ask. In case you find any value from this video, please press the like button. This keeps me motivated. And more importantly, subscribe to the channel as well, because on this channel, I post content pertaining to how you can achieve success in your career. Now, skill number one is moving from reporting to interpreting. A $70,000 to $50,000 finance professional would talk about here is what happened, while someone who's earning more will talk about not just here is what happened, like this is the number, this is the update, but also talk about here is why it happened, what caused the numbers to be such. So for instance, here is a cash flow help of $10,000. That is someone who's earning low. Someone who's earning high will talk about, okay, here's the cash help of $10,000 and this is why it came versus our forecast. Here is what will happen next, which is now we have extra $10,000. Will this trend continue? This is one of what will happen next. So someone who's earning more will talk about that. He will be interpreting the data and not just reporting. And then would talk about in the end, here is what I would do. Like this is what has happened. This is what will happen next. And this is how we can make use of this extra $10,000 cash flow that we have generated. So if your work ends at just the spreadsheet, well, you are capped at a low income. If you move forward and talk about what happened and what will happen and how to make use of it, that is when you start to make more money. Now let's talk about skill number two, business context and not finance context. And here you need to start thinking of as a business leader and not finance leader. When you think as a finance leader, you'll remain at a low income. When you start to move into becoming a business leader, that is when you start to increase your income. So for instance, and I say this a lot, stop introducing yourself as finance manager or finance analyst. Start introducing yourself as business analyst, business manager, and start to think yourself like that as well. Put the business manager's cap on versus a finance manager cap. Think if this was your business, not just finance, but marketing, sales, everything. You're running the business. How would you run it? So someone who's earning low will talk about variance versus budget. That's very typical finance. This was the budget, this is the variance, and that's it. Or we'll talk about actuals versus the forecast, which is this was the forecast, this is how much the actuals came in, and that's it. Well, this is a very finance view to the numbers. It's good view, it's good to have this perspective, it's good to know, but that's where the value is not added. It's just, again, reporting, not adding business context. Now this is how someone who earns more will add a business context. They will talk about how the business actually makes money, not just what happened versus the forecast, where the money is coming from, what generated the money. And they will talk about the context behind the money that was generated versus the forecast, where the margin really comes from, not just, again, what happened versus the forecast. Yeah, I know, but where is the margin coming from? Is the margin coming from primarily volume? Is it coming from COGS being lower? Is it coming from marketing being lower, spend and whatnot? And what breaks first when volume drops? If the volume dropped, what will the issue? What is the risk that we will see? So what would be the risk and ops? You stop sounding like a finance individual. You start sounding more like a business individual. Imagine if this was your business and you're trying to pitch it to someone for analysis, someone for a business decision making. Because whatever you will talk about, whatever you will share, people will make use of it to start making decisions. How about you start wearing that hat already and think what decisions can be made and how I can start influencing decisions versus just reporting the number and letting the business folks decide what business decisions they need to make. You need to start becoming that business individual altogether. Now, an important call out in case you're interested in having a one-to-one session with me on career coaching, how you can break career ceilings, how you can clear a particular interview. Well, I am the guy, and you can reach out using the link that I will share in the description of this video. You can book a session with me, live one-to-one coaching, where I can help you break barriers in your career. Skill number three is judgment versus precision. This one really stinks because someone who's earning low is obsessed with being 100% accurate. My numbers should match to the last cent, to the last dollar. They're afraid to give a point of view. Just sharing the numbers, this is what the numbers look like. I don't want to give any point of view. This is someone who's earning low in finance. Now, someone who's earning more in finance would be comfortable with 80% clarity. It's not a 100% accurate number, that is fine, but I'm comfortable sharing and talking about this number because it is enough for me to make a decision. It is enough for me to present to the decision maker for them to take a decision on this number. They're willing to make a call, which is, again, I don't need to perfect everything. I'm ready to make a call based on whatever numbers I have, because someone who's trying to make everything perfect will also consume a lot of time doing that. When they consume a lot of time doing that, they are more trying to perfect the numbers as against trying to add value. Someone who leaves the numbers at 80% accuracy is now using the balance of the time to bring about business perspective, add more value. And mind you, by the way, the extra 20% accuracy is what takes the most amount of time. For instance, if it takes you 1 week to reach 80% of the accuracy, it will take you another 3 weeks to reach the extra 20% of the accuracy, because that part is hard. And someone who is earning more knows speed beats perfection. Again, I need to make decision fast, throw whatever I have, which is 80% good, take decision, move on, versus trying to perfect everything. Because leaders don't perfect numbers. They need decisions on time. And for decisions to be on time, you need to do some guesswork, you need to do some probability, you need to take some risks. And this is someone who is earning more or has potential to earn more would be doing. Skill number 4, and this one is my favorite, and I think this just doesn't apply to finance, but applies to almost every other function as well. For someone who's earning low versus high, is communication that lands. Like same analysis, but 2 outcomes. So for instance, a low income earner would have 15 slide deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going on 15 slide deck. Even if it's a 30-minute meeting, they have 15 to 20 slide deck. They're dense charts, like numbers and tables and charts. They're trying to make their PowerPoint look fancy and great and all. And then have long explanation, long-winded sentences written on the slide. Like when you're presenting that slide, do you want to read out what is on the slide? Do you want others to read out what is actually happening? But someone who's earning more will communicate in a way which is effective. Effective communication is not having multiple slides or long deck, having dense charts, long explanations, verbose slides. Rather, maybe just 1 page, which has a clear takeaway. This is why I'm here. This is the objective of this meeting. This is what we will achieve. This is the decision that needs to be taken. And then just show what is needed to support the decision, as against sharing everything. Now, there are times when you share everything, but still, for instance, I usually share in an entire P&L. I would put an entire P&L. Now it will have everything from gross revenue all the way to EBITDA. That is fine, but then I don't want the audience to read everything. So what I do is I put a small mark or an arrow on the numbers I want to talk about. So I direct the attention of the audience and reader directly to that particular number, as against trying to speak and talk about everything that is on the slide. No. Yes, I need to present the entire P&L, because I just can't share one number, which is the gross margin is, let's say, 49%. No, I need to give the entire table. But I don't want them to read the entire table, and hence I'll direct them into a particular place. Because if executives can't repeat your message in like 10 seconds, you're invisible. It should be so simple, so easy that they are able to repeat whatever you told them in 10 seconds. That is the beauty, because if you can do that 10-second thing, like you can explain it to them in 10-20 seconds, that means you are clear. And if they are able to repeat it in 10-20 seconds, that means they are clear as well on what you shared. Now, another aspect is ownership mentality. Someone who's earning low, they'll just talk about, that's not my scope, that's not my area of responsibility, I'm finance, this is not numbers, whatever it is. Or I was told to do this, or I was told to do that, and not taking an initiative from their own side. While someone who's earning more or has potential to earn more will talk about, this is broken and I'll fix it. Now, this doesn't have to be finance. Many times I have run share analysis, value share analysis, which is not typically finance job. Typically brand runs it. I would just ask someone to give me the share data, give me the, let's say, pricing data, comparative share data, and see why we lost share, where did we lose share, and so on and so forth. And once you start doing it, again, people start to think of you as a business leader with ownership. This guy has ownership. It's not just me, my shop is finance, I'll just talk about finance and that's it. I'll just talk about the P&L. No, I will talk about the initiatives. I will talk about the marketing spending. I will talk about the marketing. Where is the marketing being spent? Not just marketing spending as a dollar. Is it effective or not? Similarly, I will talk about share analysis. Are we winning or not? Why are we not winning? Are we competitive or not? Is our pricing competitive? Is our merchandising competitive? Are we competitive online, and so on and so forth? And then talk about, I own this end to end, not just, hey, here's the share analysis and that's it. Oh, here's the share analysis. This is why we lost share. This is what we need to do to fix it. Again, you may not be the expert in that particular area, because there are people who run share analysis as their day in, day out job. But at least you can give some perspective for them to start involving you in the discussion itself. Pay increases when you're a problem solver. Your problems become leadership's problems. That is when you start to increase your pay and you become that solver of the problems. Next skill set that you need is influencing with authority. This is a silent separator. Someone who's earning low, they wait for direction. They escalate issues and they just wait. Like someone will tell me, and when something happens, they just escalate it. Oh, here's the problem. They just share the problem. This is the issue. I remember I was taught very early in my career that never come to a manager with problems. Come to them with problems and then with solutions as well. So here is the problem, and here are three solutions which I think we can make use of, because now you are a problem solver. Similarly, when I talk about influencing with authority, someone who is earning more will build trust before they go into the meeting. They build trust before they engage anyone in the project. Similarly, they know who really decides. Like, this person is a decision maker, I'll talk to them, versus just randomly escalating. I copy 10,000 people on the email and say, there, here's the issue. No, you exactly know who will solve the issue, who's the decision maker, and influence them. They pre-wire the stakeholders. Like, they know who the stakeholders are, pre-tune them, preset them that this is the issue which is coming, which is kind of a meeting before the meeting. So they are not just reporting, they're also managing the organization. They know where the decision making lies, and they're getting the work done. You don't need a title to influence, you just need credibility. Next skill and last skill that I have is being comfortable with ambiguity. Now, at higher pay, like for instance, I talked about this, data is incomplete, timelines are tight, answers are messy. If you freeze without perfect inputs, you just stay junior. Someone who's earning more in finance moves forward anyways. You just take a decision, move forward. Yes, there will be mistakes, there will be risks that you will be taking, but then high risk comes high return, or high returns come with high risk. Because if you're just keeping yourself low key, not taking risk, obviously you won't be able to increase your income, you won't be able to improve and increase in your rank. So the jump from $70,000, let's say, to $120,000 is not more formulas or more certifications, longer hours. It's thinking like a decision maker, not a scorekeeper. So for instance, think, if your manager disappeared tomorrow, could the business still run because of you? If yes, then yes, you are valuable and you have more potential to earn. If no, well, you are replaceable and you don't have strong potential to earn more money. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful. And in case you found value from this, please press the like button. Thank you.